Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the nervous emoji, or at least that's what I'm calling it. I'm not entirely 100% sure what the official name is for it, but that's what I'm calling it. It kind of looks like a nervous / kind of like embarrassed emoji. Let's go with nervous. By the way, just in case you have any more emoji related needs, feel free to check out the card system and the links below down in the description for my emoji tutorials playlist. Not only will I link that, but I'll also link some other videos that I think that you guys might like as well. Moving on, if you want to make the nervous emoji, here's what you're going to need. You will need some black wool, and grab yourself some white wool. Also grab yellow, dark blue, cyan, light blue wool, and finally guys, grab yourself some black stained clay, and those are the only materials that we're going to be needing. So once you have each one of those, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'll be making it right here. You're going to want to kick off your nervous emoji with a single black wool on the floor, all lonely and such. From this black wool, do an up left diagonal. Then go left of that diagonal by 2. 1, 2. Then do an up left diagonal. Then go left by 1. Then do an up left diagonal. And go left by 1. Then do 3 up left diagonals. That's 1, 2, 3. Then go up on top of that third up left diagonal by 1, and do an up left diagonal, and go up by 1. Then do an up left diagonal, and go up by 2, 1, 2. Then do an up left diagonal, and go up by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do an upright diagonal, and go up by 2, 1, 2. Then do an upright diagonal, and go up by 1. Then do an upright diagonal, and go up by 1. Then do 3 upright diagonals, so that's 1, 2, 3. Then go right of that third upright diagonal by 1. Then do an upright diagonal, and go right by 1. Then do an upright diagonal, and go right by 2, 1, 2. Then do an upright diagonal, and go right by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do a bottom right diagonal, and go right by 2, 1, 2. Then do a bottom right diagonal, and go right by 1. Then do a bottom right diagonal, and go right by 1. Now, here's the fun bit, here's the bit that's a little bit different. Take out your dark blue wool, and go right by 1. Then go up by 1. Then do an upright diagonal, and go up by 1. Then, from the upper right diagonal that you just placed 1 on top of, you now want to do a bottom right diagonal, and go down by 1. Then do a bottom right diagonal, and go down by 1. Then do a bottom right diagonal, and go down by 2, 1, 2. Then do 2 bottom left diagonals, that's 1 and 2. Then go left by 2, 1, 2. Then do 2 up left diagonals, that's 1 and 2. Go up by 2, 1, 2. Then do an upright diagonal and connect everything back together by going up by 1. And this is the shape that you want to have formed, guys. And you know what? Whilst we're actually here, we may as well fill this thing in. So what you now want to do is take out your cyan wool, and you kind of just want to go all the way around the inside of the shape that you've just made with your cyan. So what we'll essentially end up with is kind of like an ever so slightly smaller sweat drop in the form of cyan wool. What we then want to do is kind of like make a dagger shape with our white wool here. We kind of want to make like a dagger looking shape like this, kind of like an elongated plus, and then we want to fill all the way around that dagger, all around that plus, in with, you guessed it, didn't you? That is light blue wool, and that is what you want to have for that drop of sweat. You don't have to use the light blue if you don't want to. Cyan would also look good, kind of up to you. I kind of like it, adds a little extra layer of detail in there. Once you've got that taken care of, guys, that is what you want to have for that sweat drop, and you can now continue on. So come all the way down to the bottom right hand corner-ish of the sweat drop, and you want to locate this dark blue block that we have right here, the single diagonal, and from the single diagonal do a bottom right diagonal, and go down by 2, 1, 2. Then do a bottom right diagonal, and go down by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And do a bottom left diagonal, and go down by 2. 1, 2. Then do a bottom left diagonal, and go down by 1. Then do a bottom left diagonal, and go down by 1. Then do 3 bottom left diagonals, so that's 1, 2, 3. Then go left of the third bottom left diagonal by 1. Then do a bottom left diagonal, and go left by 1. Then do a bottom left diagonal, and go left by 2. 1, 2. Then do a bottom left diagonal, and go left until you connect all the way back to where you first started. So you want to end up with a shape that should look a little bit like this. So essentially it's just a big giant circular outline with a sweat drop right in the top right hand corner so far. But once you've reached this point right here, guys, this is what you want to do next. Take out your yellow wool and come all the way down to the bottom center of the emoji. On top of these 5 black wool blocks that we have right here, you want to stack 3 rows of 5 yellow wool coming up. So that'll be 1, 2, 3 rows of 5 yellow wool coming up. Except we've kind of added 1 there, it doesn't matter. Take out your black wool and do a layer of 5 black wool on top of your row of 5 yellow, except you also want to extend that row of 5 black wool out by 1 each end, so you kind of want to do a row of 7 black wool. Then, starting from the left hand side here, you want to do 2 up left diagonals, so from this left hand black wool block, 2 up left diagonals, that'll be 1 and 2. Go left of that second up left diagonal by 1. Then do 3 up left diagonals, so that's 1, 2, 3. Then go up on top of that third up left diagonal by 1. Then do an up left diagonal, and go up by 2. 1, 2. Once you've done that on the left hand side, it should look a little bit like this, but not only do we want to do this on the left, we also want to do it on the right. We could just kind of like come all the way across the top of the mouth with a big long row of black, but I don't really feel like counting it out, and I doubt you guys do either. So come to the right hand side of this row of 7 that we have now, right here now. You guys piece that together to form a proper sentence, and from this end block, you want to do 2 up right diagonals, so that'll be 1, 2. Then go right of that second up right diagonal by 1. Then do 3 up right diagonals, so that's 1, 2, 3. Go up on top of that third up right diagonal by 1. Then do an upright diagonal, and go up by 2. 1, 2. Then connect that second block all the way over to the left hand side of where we just were, and we end up with the big long row of black wool anyway, and nobody had to count anything out. Now, once you've got that taken care of, guys, this is what you want to do to the mouth. Take out your white wool, and underneath this long row of black wool that we have right here at the top, you want to do a row of white wool. Actually, you want to do 2 rows of white wool. There is 2 less on each end than the long row of black wool that we have at the top of the mouth. So you want to end up with something that should look like this, if you guys can see what we have there. Now, once you've got that taken care of, and I'm sure that you guys can figure out how to do that quite easily, you then want to take out your yellow wool, and you want to, starting from the top left hand corner of the mouth, counting in, coming right on top of the mouth with your yellow wool, you want to do a row of 4 yellow, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then on top of this 4th block, go up by 2. 1, 2. Then continue going up by 3 with your black. 1, 2, 3. Then do 2 up right diagonals. 1, 2. Then 2 bottom right diagonals. 1, 2. Then go down by 2. 1, 2. Then take out your black stained clay and do a similar shape just underneath the shape that you formed with your black wool. So you kind of want to have something which should look like this. It kind of looks like a Space Invaders bunker if you've ever played Space Invaders. The things that you kind of like hide underneath when you're the spaceship kind of looks like one of those. Now, once you've got that taken care of on the left hand side, you want to do the same thing on the right. So let's come over to the right hand side now, guys. The top right hand corner of the mouth. With our yellow wool, we want to count in to the left this time by 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to go up by 2. 1, 2. We then want to continue going up by 3 with the black wool. 1, 2, 3. Then 2 up left diagonals. 1, 2. Then 2 bottom left diagonals. 1, 2. Down by 2. 1, 2. Then take out your black stained clay, and you just want to do the Space Invaders bunker just underneath the eye. And what you want to end up with, guys, should look exactly like this. Easy enough, right? Once you've done one, the other is easy. And once you've done that, guys, the only thing that we have left to do here, and it is already piecing together quite nicely, all we have to do now is fill the rest of the mouth in with black stained clay, and we have to fill the rest of the face in with yellow wool. That is all we have to do, so shall we get to it? Shall we do this? Yeah, I thought so, guys, so let's get this done. We'll fill the mouth in first, just because it's a smaller area, and then we'll fill in the rest of the head with yellow wool. So let's get that cracking. Is there anything that we can talk about instead of me just constantly saying, I'm filling in the mouth now, and now I'm filling in the head with a stutter like Porky Pig. Do they show Looney Tunes anymore in America? They don't show Looney Tunes anymore over here. I'm not sure if you guys must know Looney Tunes. No matter how young you are, I think Looney Tunes is kind of like it's kind of like one of the classics, isn't it? It's kind of like everybody knows Mario, despite the fact how old he is. I think everybody knows Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and stuff. They don't show those cartoons over here anymore. And despite the fact that I am a full-fledged adult, I miss them. I miss him a lot. I missed Bugs Bunny, you know. Hey, what's up, Doc? I miss him messing with Elmer Fudd. I miss Yosemite Sam. I miss Roadrunner. I definitely miss Roadrunner. Roadrunner and Coyote. They were my favourites. I missed Tweety. He thought he saw a putty cat. Sylvester never got him. Never got him. It was that grandma. She sabotaged him. We don't see Tom and Jerry anymore. You guys know Tom and Jerry as well, right? Mouse and the cat. I swear it's because of the violence. I'm not sure why exactly. Like, what is so much more violent about, like, Looney Tunes than any of the other programs out now? Like, let's just take Adventure Time. I've never watched an episode of Adventure Time, but Finn, I'm pretty sure the main character, is rolling around with a big giant sword. Like, how is that? How is that more violent than Sylvester getting his head smashed in with a toaster? You know? One's funnier, I would say. And like SpongeBob's got some elements of violence in it as well, hasn't it? Actually, I can't think of it for SpongeBob, but I don't know. I miss the old cartoons is what I'm saying. I remember when I was a kid, used to wake up every Saturday morning, sometimes before school as well. They'd be on Tom and Jerry Kids. That'd be great. Used to sit and watch there. Look up the theme tune to that. Tom and Jerry Kids. Yeah. Anyway, I missed them. That's really all I wanted to talk about, and I feel as though that's multitudes better than talking about filling in this big giant area with yellow. I really wish they'd return. I'm interested to know whether they still show them in America, whether your country's still all nice and free, because apparently in Britain we're not allowed to see a cartoon cat hit a cartoon mouse hit a cartoon cat in the head with a toaster, because apparently that's just not PC or something, I don't know. I miss it heavily, but this is what your emoji wants to look like, guys, once it has been 100% fully filled in with yellow wool, your black stained clay, the white, the dark blue, the cyan, the light blue. I felt the need to roll through all of the colours, but this is what it should look like once it's been filled in. Looking pretty good if you ask me, guys. If you like this, if you've managed to make it, I would really appreciate it if you would give this video a like, a favourite, or share. Anything you'd feel like doing to help me out, guys, I would just vastly appreciate it. You guys know I love it when you give me some love. I think that I made this off of a request from Twitter. I'm actually 100% positive that's where I got the request, at TSMC 360 if you want a bit of a closer connection. When I check Twitter, I don't check it every day. Sometimes I'll leave it a week and check it. But hey, I will eventually, probably, maybe get back to you. Feel free to show me some stuff that you've made on there. I like that as well. We're trailing off. Feel free to comment down below. What other emojis would you like to see me make in the future? Again, that comes back to Twitter, comment section. I do read that stuff, especially for the emojis. Feel free to check out the card system and the links below down in the description for not only my emoji tutorials playlist, but I'll also include some other stuff that I think that you guys will like in there as well. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and remember, like, favorite, share. See you in the next video!